Right, hello everyone and welcome back to FTRL and welcome to a brand new season. This is season 9, round 1, Australia. I'm joined in the booth tonight by my Division 2 teammate from last season and seemingly ever-present commentary partner from now on, FTRL Panini. Welcome, mate.
Cheers, pleasure to be here as always.
And we've also got Aaron lurking in the background. He's going to pop in and say if he sees anything of note, but he's not strictly on the commentary team, but we'll just mention he's here.
Good evening, boys. Have a great stream. We are back. Let's do it.
So yeah, heading into this, we'll just quickly touch on a couple of changes from last season. So we've kept the point structure the same, so 20 points for first place, 17 for second, and then the usual F1 style point system for third down to 10th. We've kept the 2 bonus points for pole position. We've added the bonus point for fastest lap if the driver gets the fastest lap within the top 10. And we've also added a bonus point for drivers outside the top 10 who have a penalty-free race. So just gives the guys outside the top 10 a little added incentive to keep going and keep it clean. So our reigning 2-time back-to-back champion has got the number 1 on his new Ferrari.
I must admit, it does seem a little weird seeing Dutch in a Ferrari.
Well, yeah, it seems a little weird seeing a lot of these drivers in different cars, having got used to 12 weeks of them being in what they were in last season. So I guess we'll run through the runners and riders. So in the Ferraris, we have, as I mentioned, last season's champion, Dutch Tricks, and he's joined by last season's Division 2 champion, CJ Payne. What have you seen?
Oh, just the thought of those two going together this season, it's pretty menacing.
It is menacing. Speaking of menacing, you've then got the orange McLarens with Plexits and its physics behind the wheel.
It's physics, he had a season out last season, but the season before I think he was here, and he was lighting up qualifying like we've never seen before. Some of his times are unbelievable, so
yeah,
there's pressure this season on our seasoned drivers, shall we say.
Yep. Well, we've got in the Mercedes, we've got T1000 Zach and Brand the Man Glover, so they're both entering their second full seasons with us. Zach showed glimpses last season of, being a front runner, but I think a few unfortunate, connection issues and stuff like that sort of hampered his season sort of midway through. And Bran, I think, was noticeably one of the more improved drivers as the season went on.
Yeah, his back end of the season, I think, in the entire championship, he was the one driver that was in form. From, I think, race 7, he just was points, and looking at top 5, so hopefully he can continue that form into this season.
In the Red Bulls, we've got Tico and Joe Burns. Tico, again, I think, had his season hampered by, I think it was more equipment issues, wasn't it? He had a couple of wheel disconnects on him and things like that.
I think this season Tico will be looking to step out of his former teammate, Chris Tricks' shadow.
Yeah, I think he'll be disappointed with how last season went, I think.
and then you got Mr. Trigger himself, Joe Burns, who I think is going to want to step up his own game this season. I don't think he was happy with his performance at the back end of last season, so he's hoping he can.
Yeah, it was a tricky season. It was a tricky season for Joe last year, so yeah, let's hope he can push on this season. In the Toro Rossos, we've got Remco and last season's Division 2 runner-up. Sorry, he wasn't runner-up, was he? He finished third in the end. Tomo. So Remco, I think, had a very, very solid season in Div 1 last season.
It was very solid, but I think if he wants to challenge Dutch, Tico, and the rest of the guys at the front, he just needs that extra couple tenths. I think if he can get in front of them in qualifying, he's got a damn good shout. And Tomo was probably Mr. Consistent. I don't know how many second places he had last season, but obviously hoping he can get in front of his good pal CJ this season.
Yeah, it almost got to the point last season where I had the number 2 preloaded in his results section. So yeah, he had an affinity with P2 in Div 2 last season, so you won't want to be playing second fiddle to Remco all season. In the Force Indias, we've got the all-Finnish pairing of Oxox and Katames.
I think by his own standards, Oxox didn't get the performance he wanted last season. Like we've seen in seasons gone by, he's either been a title contender or at least top 5, where last season it just seemed to trail off for him. And Katames, he survived by the skin of his teeth last season.
Yeah, well, Cats,
however,
he has noticed that a lot of the in the admin prediction videos, a lot of us have sort of put him as one of our picks for relegation, so he's looking at it in a positive light. He's going to take that and push on this season, he says. He's going to use that as his motivational trigger.
Well, he's hoping something comes of it this season, because Div 1's as strong as it's ever been.
In the Williams, we've got the pairing of Panda and Raver's Revenge.
I want to see only good things from Panda this season. I don't want to see Panda's leg up session. I don't want to see that this season. It happened all too frequently last season. I think the one race it didn't was Hungary and he won. So, I mean, he's a former champion for a reason.
Yeah, this season can only go better for him. I think it certainly can't go any worse than last season.
And then you got Ravers.
I was going to say, you've got Ravers,
who has recently, as in this morning, just purchased his first wheel. And it is a Thrustmaster T150, so... And I also believe he's using no traction, so... I think tonight is just about surviving for him.
Yeah, there's a lot for him to get to grips with. So, in the Renault, we've got Chicken Guy and Cress. I think it's probably the one driver pairing we've got this season that was the same as last season. They've just gone from Red Bull to Renault.
Yeah.
So team chemistry is not going to be an issue.
Yeah, I mean, with Chicken Guy, he's very good on his tyres no matter what track is. So you always expect him to be there on strategy, but maybe his pace puts him sort of 8th or 9th at best. Whereas Cress can have phenomenal races, and then other days he just blows cold. It all depends which Cress turns up. And as I say that, he's crashed out of qualifying. Sorry, Cress. Do apologise. Commentator's curse. Race 1.
Well, you say commentator's curse. He had already retired before we even started talking about the Renault. So
no, that's fine.
I think we've got away with that one. Now in the Haas cars, we've got Co-Andy, who's not racing tonight, unfortunately, and last season's Division 2 runner-up, Hammer Time 95.
Andy is probably the most underrated driver in Div 1, I'm going to say.
I think that would be quite a fair comment to make.
That there is some tracks he doesn't excel at, but the ones he does, like Silverstone last season, I mean, he was running top 5 and gaining on the 5 in front of him, which were Dutch, Tico, Zach and Plexit. So on his day, probably one of the quickest here. And Hammer Time is a lot like me. He puts himself down, but I mean, we've seen last season in Div 2, he's got the pace to run with the front boys. You just got to pull it out and cut the penalties down.
Yeah, penalties, I think, were Hammer Time's sort of main Achilles heel last season. Yeah. So, like you say, if he can get that under control, drive a bit. Well, it's not even drive smoother. It's just some tracks it is very hard to keep the penalties down. But I'd like to see him do well this season. And finally, we've got the Sauber team. So we've got Tim 12 and Matt Cause, who again unfortunately can't race with us tonight.
Tim 12 is probably, with physics, probably one of the best qualifiers we've got in this league on one lap pace. But he blows too hot and cold too regularly. If he can bring the consistency up, he's top 5 every week. No problem. However, that brings us to Matt Cause. I mean, he sort of evaded the French pit lane, so he's got that in common. However, he did forget that it was his sister's birthday today, so he's already technically bottled this season to start with, so... Well, then Matt Cause. But he is supporting his teammate in the chat, so that's good to see. I suppose we should get to qualifying now, shouldn't we? Got 5 minutes left. What we'll do is we'll load the stream and have a look, see what comments we do have coming in. Oh god. Agent Panda was the first in the stream. Always nice to say. My teammate for this season coming, so keep it up. The stream was 2 minutes old and we had hashtag Team Ravers trending, so might be a new season, but everybody's still got the fan favourite, so.
Well, with when the stream was 2 minutes old, I think we may have lost a viewer. Lennon's,
yeah, I'll just say Lennon.
Yeah, Lennon's saying, if Paul's on comms, I ain't watching.
Well, Lennon, I don't think you're going to be watching much of Div 1 this season. Also, it doesn't help that you bottled it last season, so there you go. I mean, if you turned up to every race, you might win one, but you know. We have a driver from last season, JB, saying that Catamese is a fast driver, but sometimes loses attention in races, which, I mean, for anyone that's watched Catamese, it has been seen before. Oh, Guy Carp bringing out CJ to get a podium tonight. All I'm going to say is throw your predictions in this chat and we'll see who's right at the end. And you can all get a gold star. There you go. I got some stickers somewhere. No.
Right, well, we'll take a look at Goy's prediction for podium. He's just about to start a hot lap.
Just whilst I'm here, lads, I'm going to quickly give you my top three.
Oh,
I think Plexus is going to win tonight. I think Dutch is going to come second, and I think Remco is going to come third. And I think the highest place finishers out of the Div 2 drivers tonight is going to be Hammer Time 95. I reckon he's going to outscore CJ this evening. That's my thing.
that's bold.
I know. And all of our driver of the day votes, we're going to start doing them on Twitter after the races now. So everybody get involved in those, please. Makes it a bit more interactive. But I'll let you boys crack on whilst I'm eating my dinner. Entertained? Wonderful. There we go. Yeah. Plug away.
Well, we have one of our current crop of extreme Div 2 drivers winning with Harry Donzo saying Plexit to get P1, Dutch in P2 and Tico in P3. Obviously a man that's done his research and knows who the performers were from last season, so that's good to see.
Right, well, you've touched on Tim 12's qualifying prowess. He's just popped himself into P2 with a 19.5.
I was keeping an eye on him. He had invalidated a couple of laps previously, so he's done well to pull one out the bag with the pressure on.
CJ's done a 19.9 to put himself into P6.
Just check tyres, and everybody's on the ultra softs besides Ravers on the supers.
Well, it says he's on the ultras now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was on the wrong thing. My bad. I've had a week off. I've forgotten what most of the buttons do. I've just seen the gap from Dutch down to Hammer Time 95 is 0.2.
Very tight.
Tim 12 sessions done. It's physics. Did he set another lap or?
He did. He completed that lap. He improved by maybe half a tenth. He's moved up to P4. I mean, what I will say about that lap is I was watching it, it was very committed.
Tim 12 says he messed up 3 of his runs, claiming nerves to be the problem.
Oh.
I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, the big boys have come out to play tonight, and Plexit's gone even quicker.
Yeah, he's improved slightly.
Oh, I've just seen somebody go on airborne. I'm not sure who it was.
Well,
I believe it was Tomo.
Tomo, yep. Dutch has just made his way past that. And yeah, he's... Okay.
Well,
it must have put him off enough.
But he's only got 11th. I know he hasn't had as much time to practice as he would like, because he was away last week. So... Well, I mean, he's usually stronger in the races anyway, is Panda. So the only person out on track now is Ravers, and I believe he's either run out of fuel or he's having a cup of tea.
Can I just say how mad it is that 9 of the top 10 are inside the 19s, and people like Panda and Oxox can't even get inside the top 10. This grid is absolutely insane.
Right, well, before you go, can I just ask you something?
Of course.
Right. I mean, we all know you got relegated last season, but if you were in Div 1 this season,
yeah,
where do you believe your pace would put you?
Is this me on full form?
Yeah, you on full form.
Well, the season before last, I came 4th. And when I'm on top form, I'm around the same sort of pace as Remco. I don't know. Maybe if I gave it absolutely everything, maybe I could get 6th or 7th from the championship, and that's at my peak. But I mean, I would be happy with a top 10 finish in this championship. But at this moment in time, I'm nowhere even close to that. So, well, here we go. It's showtime, gentlemen.
Thanks for the input. Just while you were there, just thought of that.
Anytime.
Right, so Plexit takes our first pole position of season 9 with a 119.426, puts him a full 10th ahead of Tim 12 in second. Zach and It's Physics are on row 2, Dutch Tricks and Brandon Glover with a decent qualifying performance on row 3, Remco and CJ on row 4, Tico and Hammer Time round out the top 10. Excuse me. Then yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not quite 100%.
Well, what I can say is that looks quite bright. So definitely a dry start.
Yeah, typical Div1 race conditions.
I'd just say that there was less than 1 second covering the top 12 guys. This is going to be a tight championship this season.
There is going to be some chaos at turn 1.
I was just going to say, what do we see going down at turn 1, because it is a tricky one. The run down to it's not particularly long, and it's can be quite an awkward corner.
I'd be going for the next breaking point personally for the main sort of I can't think of English. I'm not very good at this. The main focus point. There we go. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it'll do.
Right, as you're ill, Simon, I don't mind. I'll do the formation lap for you. What's left of it? Give you a bit of a break.
Yeah, very kind.
Okay, so on pole position tonight is Plexits, trying to make it 3rd time lucky in terms of the FTRL Division 1 Championship. He's getting closer every single time. Will this be his year? He's put it on pole tonight. He's certainly laid down the marker for everybody else. Tim 12 in second. Normally qualifies very well, but tends to struggle in some races with his inconsistency. But in the new car for the season, he might end up spurring him on a little bit more. T1000 Zach pretty much came 3rd all the time last season, finished 3rd in the championship, qualified 3rd tonight. Can he go one step further? We'll have to wait and see. Physics on his return, qualifies very, very well. Every single finish he's ever had in FTRL has always been on the podium. So it's either been a podium or a DNF. Reigning champion Dutch Tricks, #1 car representing the Ferrari, down in P5, but we know how good he is in a race, so we'll have to wait and see if he can carry his form over to the new season. Brandon Glover is just getting better and better every single week. He's the highest of the English drivers tonight. He's got a good teammate in Zach. Let's see if that spurs him on. Remco down in P7. Still a very good time from Remco, but I mean, drops him all the way down to 7th. Just shows how competitive this grid is. First of the promoted driver, CJ Payne, last season's champion, FTRL record holder for 6 consecutive wins. Nobody else has ever done that. I wonder how his nerves are heading into the season. Big expectation with his teammate Dutch Tricks. Tico down in P9, not something we see too often. Again, inconsistencies cost him last season, but he almost won season 7 the season before. Hammer Time 95, second of the promoted drivers, second in the championship. Put himself in P10, which is a very good place to start. FTRL Panda in P11, we're hoping for better. Hopefully his internet will hold up this season. Ox in P12, once again showed a bit of form towards the end of last season, so let's hope he can continue that. Then we've got Tomo and Katamise, 13th and 14th. Cat maybe might struggle this season. Tomo would expect good things from them. We've got Chicken Guy, Joe Burns, Ravens Revenge and Crest rounding off the grid as we prepare for Lights Out in Albert Park.
Thank you, Aaron. Right, here we go. 5 lights coming on. And going out, and season 9 is underway. Good start from Plexits. Zach's up into P2 already.
Oh, Panda's been squeezed off and had collision with Academies at turn 1. Rivers just let everyone go with his wheel, so he's just trying to stay out of everyone's wheel, I think.
Yep, Dutch has got the jump on physics. He's up to P4 already. Oh, and there's a Sauber gone. That was Tim 12. I mean, given the pace that he went into that wall, I'm surprised he's still got his all 4 wheels on that car.
He does have quite a lot of damage on the front left of that front wing though. Look, Matt Cause has turned up to the stream. Hi Matt Cause. Tim 12's just gone straight across the chicane, obviously trying to get out of people's way because they're very fast chicane.
Well, both Renaults have had good starts. They're both up 4 positions from their starting slot.
So Cress and Tim 12 in pit lane.
Oh, Hammer Times outbroke himself into turn 1 and Chicken Guys said thank you very much. Helps himself to P10.
Panda. Panda sneaked through and got P11.
Oh, Remco running wide from turn 6 and it's gifted CJ a position.
I know Remco and CJ have been practicing quite a bit together this last week, so hopefully it doesn't come to fisticuffs in the race. I don't think it will. So the top 8 are all in the Ultras because they qualified on them. Ox is our first driver on different tyre on the Supers, as is Chicken and Panda. Tomo is on the soft, Academy's on the Supers, Joe Burns Ravers on the soft, Crest pitted, ended lap 1, put the soft on, and Tim 12 pitted as well on lap 1 and put the Supers on. And the top 4 are beginning to pull away from Bran.
Yep, and I think Bran is being about to be put under considerable pressure from the guys behind. Now, Tico's had a wobble somewhere because he was all over the back of Remco. He's dropped off to around a second now.
It's going to be interesting to see how Dutch handles things this season. He's had to get himself a new wheel over the off-season as his old one broke in the last season, so hopefully he's had a massive correction through the fast chicane. I just went on board with him. Looks like that wheel's working fairly well to catch that slide. Brandon Man and CJ going side by side in the penultimate corner. Still side by side at the last corner. Bran holds on, but he has DRS as well. And now Tico is right on the back, and he's brought Ox with him.
Oh, Remco's gone round.
And Tim 12's retired at the same time.
Yeah, I think Remco's got maybe half his car on the grass and it's just pivoted round on him through turn 2.
Yeah, that turn 1-2 section is very difficult with these cars. They don't like the curbs or any grass whatsoever, so I mean, it's understandable. The issue, I mean, I've done it several times myself, and these guys are a lot more talented than me.
Well, Panda's just gained a position. He's got past Hammer Time 95 for the final points paying position.
It's physics up inside of Dutch tricks.
Yep,
That's not.
I wouldn't say that's an orthodox overtaking place,
Yeah.
but he's made it work. I just caught the end of that manoeuvre. We've still got this train behind Bran. CJ, Tico and Ox.
Could be in a very good position with them being on the super soft tyre.
Oh, CJ having a look.
Remco's coming to pit lane for a front wing change. He's on the soft tyre.
Well, he's normally very good on his with his tyre management, so he should be able to see those to the end with no problem.
I don't know if Hammer Time has made another mistake, but Tomo's just snuck past him. And Katamis is now on the back of Hammer Time. I don't know if he's got damage, but he's fallen back. Yeah, Hammer Time's missing his front right wing end plate. She's going straight across the chicane and Katamis and Joe Burns have got past him. And Joe Burns is up the inside of Katamis. Still up inside of Katamis. Why you don't do that? Oh.
Ox has got past Tico. He went deep in the penultimate corner.
Dutch is in pit lane. So he lasted 5 laps on those ultra soft tyres. I can only guess he's going for the undercut because he didn't change his wing.
And so he's pulled the trigger early. Oh, and Ox's massive... Right, there's been absolute carnage at turn 3. I think...
CJ's around.
Yeah, I think CJ may have gone deep. Ox has followed him in as well, and it's absolute mayhem down there.
I believe Tico is missing part of his right wing plate.
Right, well, Dutch emerged from the pit lane in 14th, and he's got a nice bit of clean air in front of him, which he'll need to make the most of.
Yeah, Tico is having issues now, and Chicken Guy and Tomo are right on the back of him. And Joe Burns has snuck past Katamis.
Yep, Rover's Revenge. Rover's Revenge is quite close to Katamis.
Ox, Tico and Chicken Guy and CJ are all in pit lane. And a couple of those guys run the supers. Oh, Hammer Time 95 is... I think he's lost it at the fast chicane. If you want someone to blame Hammer Time, blame Aaron. He tipped you before the race, so there you go. So CJ's come out the pits and he's in 15th place. A long night ahead of him tonight if he wants some points. Cress is basically in Tico at the moment. They're that close. Not something you all want to know, I know, but still. What else is on We got a flag in sector 3. What's happening here? I think physics might have just tapped the. No, physics is. I don't know. Plexit has wing damage. That's all I know. I've just got on board with the McLaren and he's got wing damage. And he was behind Zach coming into pit lane, and I think he tagged Zach into speeding into pit lane. So Dutch Tricks has got a 5-second gap on Zach. That undercut of 2 laps again in 5 seconds. So I believe something must have occurred between Plexit and Zach.
Now this is very exciting. I did not expect any of this to happen.
Yeah, I think now the time's going to be coming to you because you're going to be blaming you for that.
That wasn't my fault. All I said was I think he's going to do well.
Right, physics is in the pit lane, so we need to keep an eye on.
Penalty,
got to keep an eye on where Dutch is as well.
Dutch is
because he's got
the penultimate corner.
What's Dutch got here? A 3-lap undercut on him.
Which is last corner now. Pitch straight.
Lads, I think T1000 Zach's had a moment because Plexus was much further behind him than 2.2 seconds.
Rivers is in pit lane. Lap 7 on the soft. He's changing his front wing, so Rivers is heading into them.
Well, in terms of net position, Bran is going to come out pretty much bang on T1000 Zach, give or take a couple of seconds. And Panda and Tomo have profited massively from the chaos that's happened. So there's going to be a lot going on to the end of this race.
I mean, our newly formed stewards group might have some work to do tonight, I believe.
We will indeed.
Yeah, well,
that's all part and parcel of it.
Well, I've just gone back and had a quick look again at that turn 3 incident, and it looked like that CJ locked up and outbroke himself going into the corner, so he was much slower than I think Oxox anticipated, and he just clattered into the back of him, spun him round, and that caused the other guys coming through behind to collect the chaos.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. A lot of interesting stuff going on tonight, but Tico's right on the back of Chicken Guy now.
Zach set fastest lap, and you're right, Tico and Chicken is our closest battle on track.
Yeah, they are close. Impress is coming up to make this a Renault sandwich.
Nothing worse than a banana sandwich.
Oh yes.
Well, it won't be a sandwich now because Tico's just sent it up the inside at turn 3 and he's ahead.
Yeah, good move.
There's been a bit of back and forth banter between Matt Cause and Matt Cause dad in the chat, so...
Right, Panda has caught up to Bran. He's now only just under 2 seconds behind him, so Panda is absolutely flying at this stage.
Yep. Bran is taking his ultras very long into this race.
He's going to take them onto supers.
Yeah. I mean, it's only reason he's taking this far.
No, he's not.
Right, it carries on.
It's going to sound a bit of a far-fetched thing to say, but I honestly feel like Bran could have potentially cost himself an outside chance of a podium by doing that. Because he was going to be right in the thick of it, and he's holding his own so far, so...
It's physics has closed down Joe Burns.
Yeah, Bran's lost about 4 or 5 seconds to Zach in all of that. But I'm going to disappear. Right.
So now it's Dutch's turn to try and overtake Joe Burns with losing as little time as possible.
Plexit currently holds the fastest lap.
I've seen a couple of penalties pop up now and again. I've seen one for Tico. I just saw another one, but I didn't.
I saw one for Plexit. Physics has got a 5-second stop go. I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of 5-second stop goes. Zach's got one.
And I think Panda's got a 3-second penalty for corner cutting.
I think Rivers is just going to try and learn on the wheel at the moment and just try not to get a penalty and get that point while having a clean race. Brown has finally pitted and gone up the super.
He has gone on to the supers.
However, I've just seen something I didn't see much last season. CJ just picked up a penalty. Obviously he's pushing to try and make up for lost time when he got spun earlier, but... So, Bran has come out 5 seconds behind Zach when he's on the softer tyre. So Panda now currently leading this race. I'm intrigued on Panda's strategy. Sat on the supers. Is he going to try and make the supers go long enough so he can go on the ultras, or is he going to pit early and go on the soft? He's pitting now, so he's going on the soft. Okay. Well, thanks for answering my question, Panda. So that makes Tom our race leader. Started the race in the soft compound. So I'm going to guess he's going to try and take him long enough to go to the ultras. However, I'm usually wrong on this sort of thing, so don't believe anything I say.
Now, Panda is going to come out just behind Ox, or is he going to hold it? No, it's just behind Ox.
Remco's catching up at the back of categories for 14th place. However, we do have a little mini train forming between Chicken Guy, Chris and CJ.
Plexit is going around Joe Burns down into turn 13.
Yeah, I don't believe Joe's fighting too hard for position at the moment. It's not really his fight, in all honesty.
Ox and Panda's going to be a battle to watch, gents. I've just got that feeling.
Well, I've just gone to that because Will was within 2/10 of Ox at one point on this lap.
Remco has overtaken Cat, and CJ, Chris and Chicken are concertinaing together and getting closer. It was half a second between 3, it's now 3/10 between them. Is it going to be team orders between the bananas? Race 1? I mean, Chris is on the older tyre. So, I mean, you would think Chicken Guy wants to stay in front. The gap between Dutch and Zach has come down by 2 seconds since Zach pitted.
CJ and Cress side by side through the fast chicane.
That is a ballsy place to go around the outside. I'm going to guess he went for the inside at the start of the chicane.
Yeah, well, Cress fought it well.
He's obviously been watching last season's Div 2 banana. And you. There you go.
Nah, Aaron will tell you I'll get done there.
Panda's gone up the inside the box.
I thought I'd just put that out there before you threw it in.
Ox trying to go on the outside of Panda. Doesn't come off, so Panda is now into 8th place.
Crest defending very, very well. His CJ is much faster than both the Renaults at this stage. But yeah, Crest is doing a very good job.
Well, out of most of the guys in this field, Cress and Chicken Guy are 2 guys that CJ has raced before. In the last couple of races of Div 2 a couple of seasons ago. Oh no, we've seen a penalty come off for Reva's revenge.
Yeah, CJ just picked up a second one, so if seeing him get 1 penalty was rare, seeing him get 2 in the same race.
Was that CJ, Si?
Yeah.
I think in the whole of last season he only got 6 penalties. Which is mad in itself. He's already got a third of that in just over half of one race.
Oh, CJ's up the inside of Cress.
Just a quick note from Tim12. Just said that the nerves were absolutely shocking tonight. He said he was so nervous about the race. So that's ultimately what cost him into mistakes.
Yep. They can play a part.
They certainly can.
So CJ's got by Crest now. He's going to set his sights on Chicken Guy.
So now there's a Ferrari and a banana sandwich.
Banana and jam sandwich.
And Zach has taken another second out of Dutch to last jet.
Yep. Physics is within DRS range of Tomo now. Of course, Tomo not stopped yet.
Joe Burns is entering pit lane after 15 laps on the soft. I'm gonna guess he's going to supers.
Oh, here comes CJ.
Inside at turn 1. And has a DRS the next straight. Chicken Guy sent it though.
Yep.
Pulled it up without touching CJ, so it's still clean. So. Physics has got past Tomo and all that excitement. I don't believe Tomo fought it too much because it was just before the chicane.
Well, Panda Rocks and Tico has now become a 3-car train.
I've just gone on board with Dutch and he touched the grass coming out of that fast chicane. And the gap to Zach is now 1 second exactly. Pressure is mounting on the 2-time champion.
Oh, look at this battle.
Yep,
the 7th.
yep, I'm on it. Tico's just got 2
double
cars.
overtake.
Yep, brilliant.
Amazing.
It's the first time I think I've heard you compliment an overtake that wasn't a switchback. Panda's back
Panda's in the
He must
pits.
have got ring damage.
Yeah.
That's going to turn back into an angry Panda before long.
Zach within DRS range of Dutch. Now, as a commentator, I need to be impartial here, but Zach's kind of my teammate.
I need to be impartial, but physics is currently winning the race, but it does have a 5-second stop go, so... Remco has just gotten past Chicken Guy now.
He's got himself a 3-second time penalty in the process.
An awful lot of penalties coming through right now.
We could see a move. Zach on Dutch. Potentially. Tomo finally pits as well.
I went on board with Tomo and he practically stopped for that pit stop line. Obviously not wanting to get penalties. Tomo won on the supers. Okay.
Well, he'll be able to push on those for 10 laps.
If I was going for the supers, I'd have come in a little bit earlier. Just well, hey, I'm not a Div1 driver. They know what they're doing, I don't. So. I mean, he's come out in front of his best pal CJ. It's not a position we've seen him in very regularly, in front of CJ. Well, I guess he'll be enjoying it. This battle between Dutch and Zach is very close to getting a third member in Plexits. Plexits is 1 second behind. He's just outside DRS. He's inside now, but I don't think he got it. He didn't. Look how much DRS worth 2/10 down one straight.
Yeah, with Plexit's coming at him, if Zach's got the pace, he needs to get past Dutch ASAP. And leave the two Dutch boys to fight between themselves.
So I've just looked at the penalties, and there's quite a few drivers without a penalty inside the top 10. And then the ones that do have penalties have a couple.
Oh, contact. Zach went into the back of Dutch.
Keep an eye on Tomo in this last stint of the race. I think he's going to be absolutely flying.
Well, I did say he's put the super softs on, he'll be able to push those hard.
He will.
I've just read a comment from Mohammed Time 95. He binned at the fast chicane, but reckons he might have a wheel issue which may hamper him in the next couple of races. We're going to test it out and find out.
Right, well the Dutch and Tico, yeah. I was going to say, them getting closer on that lap has brought Plexits into it.
Tomo on those fresh supers is pulling away from CJ, who's on 13 lap all softs. So can Tomo close down that 1.9 second gap to Oxox?
Well, he's got the fastest lap, so
There's points.
the pace is there. There's a point there for him at the moment. So our 1, 2, 3 from last season are truly engaged in battle here.
Oh, this is a train we've been wanting to see for a long time. Dutch, Zach and Plexit. Oh,
Rivers is gone.
And CJ's just got another penalty.
Christ. That's 3. CJ could end up outside the points here. I think he's going to as well.
It obviously shows how much harder he's having to work to try and keep up with Div1.
Then again, you say that. First race of last season, CJ came 7th or 9th. And then he came
put
like
Monaco
5th.
set up on Spain.
Yeah, then he came like 5th or something in the next one. Then he went on his 6th winning streak. So he doesn't tend to start the season too well.
That I broke. Just gonna put it out there. Just I stopped the streak. I'm like Brock Lesnar.
You did. Tomo, basically in DRS of Oxox now. And depending on how quickly you can get past him, you could quite quickly catch up to Tico as well.
Remco has got past both bananas and is currently in 10th place. So after spinning out very early on, he's got back into the points.
Unserved stop go will go to 10 seconds, won't it?
No, it will stay at 5. They fixed that glitch.
Oh, right, okay.
He'll just have 5 seconds added on at the end.
Are you looking at physics penalties?
Yeah, he's got an extra penalty as well, physics, so
Yeah,
technically...
So he's got 8 seconds.
And Dutch only has 1 warning. Zach on the outside of Dutch. Oh, Aaron's left the session. You also left the party. Bye, Aaron. Nice having you.
Well, that failed overtaking move has put Zach right back into the clutches of Plexit. Oh, massive wobble.
I want to guess we both saw Plexit there.
Yep,
My God.
he done well to gather that one up, but look how much it's cost him.
Full second, basically, that. Has he overheated that rear left tyre in the process, though? Very easy to do. And Tomo is right in the back of Roxox now on those super soft tyres. It's unfortunate for Rivers. I know he's getting used to the wheel, but he wasn't that far behind. All things said.
No, Zach's not quite close enough this time round to have a look.
And then with an interesting point, doesn't Zach have a stop go penalty too? He does. So it'll also drop Zach back. But I'm gonna guess he still wants to overtake Dutch in the road, even if he could drop back afterwards. Dutch having a very similar wiggle to Plex. It's coming out with that corner you don't like, all before the high speed chicane. Which is allowed Plexus to get back into this fight.
Yeah, Zach was almost pushing Dutch down that. Well, I called it a straight, but it's not straight.
I'll send down another invite just in case he wants to. Or if he can jump back in. Someone was right on the back of Oxox. On the pitch straight. He's got the move up the inside. Oxox is not fighting it that much. Tomo's into 7. Can he catch Tico? Oh, Tomo got a slide. Oh.
He done well to catch that one. And he's managed to
Some
hang on to the position.
Fantastic saves going on tonight. Zach is...
He's got a run here.
I think. On the outside, a Dutch.
Dutch gave him the squeeze.
The Ravers fan club have just found out that Ravers is retired and they're not happy. Oh, Aaron's disappeared again.
Plexit's with another wobble coming out of the final corner this time.
This moment in time, its physics needs to pull 1.5 seconds on Dutch without getting another penalty. And the way that these three are fighting, it's entirely possible. Joe Burns is caught up with the back of Chicken Guy now.
CJ's right on the back of Oxox as well now.
Joe Burns got past Chicken Guy.
Oh!
Also a penalty process. Oh,
Dutch had a wobble. It's allowed Zach through.
Now I know Zach is very cautious with his overtakes, especially when trying to run outside of guys like Dutch and Plexits. I know Plexits will not be afraid to shove his nose in, especially getting in the penalty. That doesn't help Plexits. Oh, he sent it on Dutch. Oh, I just had a heart attack. Oh, nearly both Ferraris are in the same spot. However, with Zach getting past Dutch, he's also not letting physics get away. So I don't know who's going to win this race on penalties.
Well, there goes Plexits. He's overcooked it.
Dutch on the outside, side by side at the chicane. This is going to be. No, Dutch has let him go. Probably the smart idea, considering Dutch has no penalties. You just got to try and stick close to these two boys and hope penalties sort themselves out. CJ stood on the back of Oaks.
Yep, and Joe Burns is on the back of Cress.
Cress has done 25 laps on that set of softs. I know I said at the start of the race that Chicken Guy was probably one of the better wears on his tyres, but his teammate ain't too shoddy either.
Yeah, don't forget he'd done, what was it, 30, did he do 30 laps on a set of softs at Brazil last season?
Yeah, got a punker in the last lap, didn't he?
Joe Burns up the inside, job done, and I think the two Renaults have just collided.
Cress has got right lock going down the straight. I think he's got a puncture.
Yep.
Cress has got a rear left puncture.
He's got a puncture.
Just going past the pit lane.
Yeah, he was, as he put the power down coming out of the second to last corner, his car just went totally sideways. Its physics just got another penalty.
Physics just lost his race win. I think. If I can count, but I can't count, so I don't know. It's gonna be tight.
And CJ's finally got past Ox.
I mean, with what happened earlier at turn 3, when going this last lap, something might happen, we don't know. Dutch is 2 seconds behind Plexits now. But Plexits has... Ooh, Dutch is... sideways.
Ox has got back ahead of CJ.
I'm going to keep my Dutch to as fast as I can because the last fast right under it was very sideways through.
You know, you put those soft tyres on a bit earlier than the other guys round him.
Yeah, he's done 23 laps and Chris got plenty on 25 laps.
Well,
so...
it's physics. On his return to FTRL, he's going to take the race win on the road. He's had his time penalty added on. Zach's going to come across the line. Stays second. Plexit stays third. Dutch has gone up to second.
Wow. Okay.
Brand takes fifth. Tomo jumped Tico on penalties.
Nice. Well, not nice with Tico, but you know. Ox up there, CJ right behind him in 9th, but those penalties dropped him to 10th. Is Joe Burns going to get on penalties? No. So CJ gets a point.
Panda 12th. Chicken Guy 13th. Crest 15th for lap down. So just wait for Catamies to cross the line and take P14.
Aaron's asking who got fastest lap. Academy's got fastest lap with a 22.4. That's
outside the top 10.
Inside it. I'll save my video clip and then just check it later. There you go. Aaron says it was Tomo inside the top 10. Right, so physics, Dutch, Exit? No, yeah, no, Zach.
Well,
no.
It would be Zach, but has Zach got a microphone yet?
I'll just invite all of them.
See what happens.
I mean, currently Zach and Exit are having a query about the race, so maybe not probably the best idea to get both of them in the party. Right, well, I've invited everyone, so there we go. See who turns up. So alright, so we've got the 2 McLaren boys. Alright, got Dutch. I think we can start and see if Zach turns up or not, we'll find out. Or whether he'll make or not, I don't know. So.
Right, well, all the drivers in then, we will make a start with our race winner. It's physics. So, welcome back to FTRL, mate. First race back,
Thank you.
You've taken the win. So, talk us through that race from your perspective, please.
I got a lot of penalties, and I needed it. And I needed a push the last stint, but I was lucky that the Dutch hold up Plexi, and the other guy was CJ, right? Or who?
Sure.
Yeah, someone. Oh yeah, that guy. So yeah, I could manage the gap. And at the end, it was 7/10. So lucky with that, but I take it.
Now, we know from your previous stint with us in FTRL, and Aaron alluded to it in the formation lap, that when you finished a race with us, it was always on the podium. It was either a podium or a DNF. So you've continued that trend.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, was it me? Sorry. Are you here? So. Hello.
Sorry, headset died.
Oh, okay. Right.
Oh god.
Any other questions you'd like to ask while I'm here? Oh, should I move on to Dutch?
Do you want to move on to Dutch, because I've completely lost my train of thought.
Okay. So, Dutch, starting off the season as you mean to go on. I mean, obviously second isn't where you're happiest, but...
No, only 7/10, man.
I mean, you gotta be happy starting off a season on a podium. I mean, it's probably the strongest grid we've ever had in Div1.
Yeah, that's true, and yeah, with keeping second, Plexus behind me for the most of the race. In the second stint, I'm happy I came home second, because I didn't thought Zach had a penalty, so I thought I was P3, but P2, so happy with that, but the overall pace of the race, not very happy.
In the chat, I must say, your biggest fan, Mr. Goikarp, that he was supporting you all race long, and continually saying back to back, are you going to make it the treble this season?
I hope so. Yeah, definitely aiming for it. But yeah, what you said, the grid is very strong this season, so it will be a very tough race for everyone and for the season overall.
Track, is it Baku next? I can't remember.
Baku is next year.
Right, I'm a good admin, me, Anna. How would you say your pace is round Baku? It wasn't on the calendar last season? No, it wasn't. Was it? No, it wasn't.
I
Your
hope.
performance.
I hope it will be a good race and clean with the middle sector. It's very tight there, and yeah, you can definitely overtake around the track. So will be a close fight, I think, at the top. And if I bring the car home and don't get any wing damage, I think I will be on the podium again. So.
Can I just say it was very odd seeing you in a Ferrari today, but I mean, no doubt it's a sight we're going to get used to seeing. So,
first time in a Ferrari.
Congrats on the race today. Nice podium, and wish you the best for next week.
Right, Plexits. So you've claimed the first pole position of season 9.
Yep.
So started off quite strongly. You've carried on from where you left off last season by taking a little streak of pole positions. Is qualifying going to be something that you feel is, you know, a big sort of part of your push towards a title this season? Just picking up those extra points.
I mean, if you get 2 extra points for pole position, that's always nice. Plus you get track position, and that's with the grid like this very important, especially around here, but still managed to bottle it, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it was looking quite strong the opening stint, and then on your in lap, I don't know what happened. We didn't see it, we weren't watching it at the time, but we know at the start of the lap Zach was behind you, and then when you came into the pit lane, you'd somehow swap positions. I don't know what happened there. Can you enlighten us?
Basically, I came into the pits and I came onto the grass, so I almost spun. That's why I was slow, and Zach just pushed me because he didn't brake. He didn't saw me. I was slow or something. I don't know. And he crashed into the back of me, and because of it, he pushed me into the wall and went past me, and I had to change my wing, stuff like that. That was the reason.
Right. Okay. But towards the end of the race, you got yourself locked into a pretty intense and enjoyable battle to watch with Zach and Dutch.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, Aaron said in the stream that it's like a train and a battle that we've been wanting to see for a while. So, how was that battle for you guys? You know, was it enjoyable from your perspective as it was ours?
Yeah, it was pretty fun, but it was just annoying because I knew I could be faster if I wasn't behind those guys, and then, but yeah, eventually when I got past Dutch, and then I put my fastest lap in, and I think it was the fastest for the top 5, so it was a shame.
Well, you've got P4 plus your 2 bonus points for your pole position, so it's not a bad return for a first race.
Mm-hmm. True. We're gonna practice for the next one, and we'll see what we can do there.
What do you think you can take out of Baku next week? What are you hoping for?
The last time I won, and my pace was pretty good. And I think Baku is one of my stronger tracks, so should be okay. Looking forward to it.
Right, we heard it here first. Pole on the win for Plexits. No, well, good race tonight, boys, all round, and good luck for next week.
Thank you.
Good luck for tomorrow.
No, thank you.
Oh no, it's tomorrow, isn't it? Oh god. Right, I'm excited for tomorrow. Yes, Australia, good.
Yep, as the boys said, Division 2 kicks off tomorrow night in Australia, so join us for that and see how several new drivers fare in their first ever league races.
Yeah.